Alright, I figured I might as well round off the whole bump firing video series with the classic bump firing shotgun, which is the Winchester model 1897. You'll see this in a lot of the World War II movies. Actually, if you watch the mini-series of Pacific, you'll see them firing away with one of these after, I don't know if they're gun jammed or if they got swarmed with by a bunch of Japanese. So I took the barrels off of this one here just to make it easier. And this, as I said, also bump fires. I'm gonna have to refinish it. I just picked it up recently for a pretty good price. But I'll take it apart and we'll get on with the we'll show you how it works. Alright, so with the hammer back, you just push the release button on it and give it a shot in your hand. That drops down like that. Pin here, you just finish pushing out since the screw's already out. Alright. Now I've got the hammer and lifting assembly out. Slide the bolt out the rear. This is actually the simplest of the three shotguns that I've shown in terms of how it bump fires. What you've got here is a safety that doesn't let you push the firing pin in until it's seated on this. So until it's locked into place, no matter what, even if the hammer for whatever reason fired, it wouldn't fire because this isn't pushed down until it's locked into place like this. Now the trigger on it is very simple. I don't know if you'll be able to see it in here. No, there's no clear way of seeing it, but all it is standard trigger. There's no other pieces to it. So what it does is it's basically hooked here, and as you pull the trigger, pushes back. The pin would be right here. Pushes back and pushes on this sear here, which releases a hammer, like so. This whole piece moves in the gun, and I could show it to you after, but it pivots around the point here, and this is what allows it to bump fire, because when you hold the trigger back, unless it's closed like this, it doesn't contact the sear at all. So as your bolt slides forward, you'll see on this side there's a track that the arm, as you pump, goes in. So you see it drops it. Looking at the wrong side, but as the arm goes in, it drops down. It goes right to the end, and then it's allowed to go wherever it wants, pretty much. So it pivots right around this point here. So now, as I said, pivots as it slides back into place. It locks into place like this, and as it's locking into place, it goes up against the trigger and basically pushes on the trigger here. as long as you have your trigger, as long as you have your finger still on the trigger. It'll push up against the trigger and fire as soon as it locks into place. So sits like this, pushes up against the trigger, and fires. Very simple compared to the other two. All it is that it pivots, and it's as if it was on the table here, and pivots and pushes into the table, and that's what fires it. It'll only pivot once it's closed enough on the bolt, so once it's locked into place. As soon as it locks into place, the hole back for the firing pin goes down, and it fires. So that's how it's able to do that. I'll see if I could show you it cycling in the gun. Alright, so as you pump it, see how it dropped down right away? So it quickly drops down and disconnects itself from the trigger. Disconnects itself from the trigger because the sear has moved up like this. So see how it moves up in the back and clears itself from the trigger? That's what it's doing. That way, no matter how much you pull the trigger, it's not connected to anything at all. Pull back. Your hammer gets cocked on it. See how it drops right down, picks up the shell. On the way back up, do that again. On the way back up, your hammer is cocked. As you see, it's lower. As soon as it closes up, it rises to just the right place for the trigger to engage a sear. And if your finger was on it, it fires that way. Anyways, hopefully this was clear enough for you. If you have any questions about the way it works still, feel free to comment. Thanks for watching, and please subscribe if you enjoy these videos. Thanks.